Successful Farm for tips, ideas, timely news, and information from our editors. Find us on Instagram at successful_farming and love the latest photo or video. And take a look behind the scenes with our editors on TikTok at successful_farming.
My neighbor has 3 big old apple trees, and I don't think they've ever been pruned. Oh, they still produce apples, but the fruit is very small and low quality. Old trees can bear nice fruit if they're given the right pruning and TLC. Peter Hurst is a horticulture professor at Purdue University. He says neglected trees become overgrown to the point where the center of the tree is shaded out. To rejuvenate apple production, you have to get fruit buds out of the shade.
That's the whole key to the whole deal, because when you have light, you get these strong fruiting buds producing good quality fruit. If you don't have light, you're going to get those weak buds and poor quality fruit. And whatever system you have, this is what we're trying to achieve, right? There's lots of different ways of putting it together, but this is the bottom line.
He recommends taking out a couple of big branches to get the light in. It creates a hole in the canopy. Sunlight gets into that hole and illuminates all the branches around it. But don't prune out too much in 1 year because it'll reinvigorate the tree and it'll grow like crazy. That's not what we want.
And so in trees like we're talking about, I would say take out 2 or 3 big cuts per year. And big cuts, I'm not talking 1 inch. I'm talking 3 inches, maybe 4 inches, large cuts in those trees. Next year, you take out the next 2 ugliest branches. And the next year, you're kind of like, well, most of these ugly branches are gone, and now I can get them into more detail. But in the meantime, over those couple of years, new branches have grown with high-quality fruit buds.
Pruning an old tree will lead to higher yields and better quality fruit, but the tree is still old and probably past its prime. Plant some new trees nearby, and you'll have nice apples to pick in the years to come. Learn more about keeping big old apple trees productive at livingthecountrylife.com. I'll see you in the country.
Living the Country Life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic, share your tips, and post photos by visiting us online at livingthecountrylife.com.
Today's Daily Encouragement by William the Encourager, sponsored by Ted Russell Nissan, home of the lifetime warranty on Kingston Pike.
Good morning, my brothers and sisters. This is William the Encourager, and I'm saying good morning to you. Wake up, get up, come on, let's praise Him. You know the drill now. Let's get up and praise God. It's a brand new day. Amen. Father God, we thank you and we praise you today. We give you glory, honor, and praise, Lord, and ask you to forgive us for our sins, oh Lord God, and our shortcomings. Father, we thank you, we love you, and we give you glory, honor, and praise today. It is in Jesus' precious name that we pray. Amen. And remember what we're talking about today. We are talking about 10 reasons why Satan attacks your thoughts. Amen. Yes, he comes to steal, to kill, and to destroy. He's not playing. He comes to attack your mind and to make you think just like Adam and Eve in the garden. And the snake said to Eve, has God said? So we're going to combat that this morning, because number four that we're talking about today, Satan wants to steal your peace. Isaiah 26:3 says, you will keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on you because they trust in you. Peace is a fruit of trust in God, and Satan despises anything that reflects God's nature. He targets your thoughts to disrupt your peace and fill your mind with anxiety, fear, and confusion. When you lose your peace, it becomes harder to hear God's voice and make wise decisions. You become more acceptable to stress and frustration, which can lead to poor choices and strained relationships. Anchor your peace in God's promises. Whenever worries creep in, cast your cares on Him and rest in the assurance that God is in control. Amen. Praise God. You have to rest in God, my brothers and sisters, and know that God is in control. And when you begin to rest in him, that's where the peace comes from. Because remember, Satan wants to disturb your peace. Satan does not want you to have peace. But God said, peace, my peace, I leave with you. So seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. Don't let the enemy put fear upon you. The Bible says we are to be bold and fearless. We are fearless. Psalms 3:6 says, I will not be afraid of 10,000 people that have set themselves against me. Psalms 27:3 says, though a host should camp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war should rise against me, in this will I be confident and know that God is my strength. So, brothers and sisters, let's seek peace. Let's seek the God of peace. Because he said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. And if he said that, he means that he will never leave you nor forsake you. The enemy has no foothold because this is God's territory. And remember, there's a way out of your mess, and it's JESUS.
Where can you buy a brand new Nissan with a lifetime warranty? Kingston Pike. Hey, folks, Gerald Anderson with Ted Russell Nissan. You heard it right. Every new Ted Russell Nissan comes with a lifetime warranty, and that's a long, long time. Ted Russell Nissan on Kingston Pike.
Good morning and welcome to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Ask Your Neighbor can also be heard and seen on our website, WYSHradio.com. And if you are in Anderson, Rome, or Morgan County and have Comcast cable, you can watch Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV Channel 12. Ask Your Neighbor is the program where you call in and do just that. Ask Your Neighbor. Do you have a comment? Do you have a problem? Or do you have a question? Then call in and ask your neighbor. 865-457-1380 or toll free at 877-711-4005. And for those of you that might be listening or watching on the internet, you can email from our website, WYSHradio.com. Just click on the Contact Us button and email your questions. Now sit back and listen as listeners throughout East Tennessee and the entire world answer your questions on Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV 12 and AM 1380 WYSH.
Good morning, everybody. Rise and shine. If you were listening earlier, you heard me tell you that David and the guys are not coming in today. David is still experiencing some health issues. Got an email from Sammy this morning, said that David was experiencing some internal bleeding. They're trying to figure out what's going on with him. He's hoping by next week he'll be able to be here. We hope so, too. Miss David, miss all of them when they can't come. The whole hee-haw gang, but we'll try and hold it in the road for you here this morning. Our telephones are open at any time you'd like to call at 865-457-1380 or 877-711-4005. And if there's anything you'd like to jump in, talk about, well, we'll do that this morning at any time. You just let me know. Something that I want to share with you guys that I've had here for a little while, and frankly, we hadn't released anything yet because I wasn't sure where. I wasn't sure exactly kind of the protocol, what was going on with our EMS system, what they were trying to do. Also, there was an individual involved. I'll just cut to the chase. I got information the other day. There was, I don't know if you guys saw this or not on replay of Mr. Meetings. A lady came before the commission and spoke about EMS and her experience with EMS. The lady's name is Jennifer Smith, and I'm going going to read you. I just got this too. I've been inquiring about this to some of our commissioners, operations, and such. And I talked with Jennifer Smith. So what I'm getting ready to share with you is from information I received from Ms. Smith, and then information that was forwarded to me and has also been forwarded to Anderson County Commissioners. They've been working on this for a little bit. Hopefully they're going to get everything taken care of. All right, so I'm trying to find the letter here. I'm sorry. The email/letter is from Anderson County citizen Jennifer Smith. And it's titled, the subject is Anderson County Commission, notification of EMS unacceptable performance December 5th and the death of David Smith. I'm just going to read this to you. Hello, County Commissioner team. My name is Jennifer Smith. I live in Anderson County. I spoke at the January Commission meeting concerning the death of my husband, David Smith, on December 5th. Since that time, I've become aware of some very eye-opening concerns of how Anderson County EMS actually handled my call for help. And I wanted you to have this information for transparency so that you might further aid in your understanding of the current state of how Anderson County EMS is now operating. Below is a summary of the events that took place on December 5th. My husband, David Smith, only 53 years old, had a medical emergency. He died of cardiac arrest at 8:27 a.m. on December 5th. Here is a summary of events. At 7:58 a.m., I called 911 to report medical emergency. At 8:05 a.m., I called 911 again. I told the operator that my husband Dave had numbness in his chest and tingling in his left hand. At 8:05, I was assured EMS had been dispatched and was en route. At 8:17, during my third call to EMS, I was then told that EMS was about 8 minutes away. By then, my husband Dave was retching in severe pain, drifting in and out of consciousness, crying, begging me to check outside to see if help had arrived yet. At 8:27, nearly 30 minutes after my first call, I made my final call to Anderson County EMS while actively performing CPR. Just moments before, Dave had looked at me and told me I was going to have to perform CPR on him. He knew that he was dying, and he took his final breath. I continued CPR until Anderson County EMS arrived at 8:31 a.m. I've sent you 2 audio files. The first audio file is my third call to Anderson County 911 at 8:17 a.m. In this call, you can hear me inquire about where EMS is, and in the background, you can hear my husband moaning in pain. 9 minutes after this call, this point, he died. The second call is the communication between the 911 dispatch and EMS. EMS had no idea what they were doing at this time. They're joking, they're laughing in the background, and the female supervisor that is just coming off her shift is mouthing off in the background because of the call. Keep in mind, this supervisor, the one you hear in the background, should have communicated to the oncoming shift supervisor the status of my call. I don't know if it's possible to have a topic added to the upcoming Anderson County Commissioner meeting concerning a detailed investigation of these actions that took place on December 5th. I've reached out to the mayor of Anderson County, Terry Frank, and the director of Anderson County EMS, Nathan Sweet. My goal is that Mayor Frank and that Nathan Sweet put measures in to prevent this type of absolute preventable failure of the Anderson County EMS in the future. Best regards, Jennifer Smith. Here is the call that she references. And it's, well, you'll hear for yourself.
Anderson County 911.
I'm sorry to keep bothering you. Do you have an ETA on the ambulance? 3853 Highview.
Yeah, hold on just a second. Let's see where they are.
Okay. This is not getting better.
They said they're probably still about 8 minutes away coming from Oak Ridge. There's traffic and everything in Oak Ridge in this rain. So they'll get there as soon as they can, okay?
Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye.
That was the third call that I had referenced in her email earlier. This is Anderson County Communication Dispatch audio. Listen.
Yes. If I was going to be delayed and still in their station 16 minutes after they went en route, I'd have sent Medic 1 if they'd have told me.
16 minutes.
Yeah, I have no idea. Are they en route now? I mean,
No, the map still shows them sitting at their station. They're just now turned on to Melt Lake Drive, and they've been en route since 8.
Well, they were. Carissa was aware of it. They were waiting on Brooke when she was right there at Melt Lake, cut down the bus.
Well, if they'd have just let us know, we could have sent 1 or 7.
Yeah, well, 7 wasn't here yet either, but... David.
Good job.
They've already called 3 times from that house, want to know where their ambulance is.
They always do. It takes honest up and late time-wise for anyone to get there. So it doesn't matter who goes.
Ooh, sassy language.
Where's it at?
Off Mountain Vista.
It's in that subdivision off Emory Road.
Wow. That's a hell of a haul. So, no, as long as they're in route.
Closer for me.
We're AMR North.
All right. I just wish they'd have let us know that they were going to be delayed.
Right, yeah. So.
All right, thanks.
That led to her husband dying. David Smith died on December 5th. In response to that, EMS Director Nathan Sweet issued a letter, press release. Now I'll have that or not a press release, but a letter addressing this. I'll do that for you next.
Party 5 here with some big news. Not just big news, this is really big news. The senior benefits team at Madison Insurance Group has a whole website that talks about nothing but Medicare. It's straighttalkmedicare.com, folks. If you have questions about Medicare, just nip it right in the bud. Visit straighttalkmedicare.com or call the senior benefits team at Madison Insurance Group at 865-425-7300. Tell them Barney sent you.
Winning just got closer at the Mint Gaming Hall. Win up to $2,000 in cash this month in the Golden Rose Drawing. Play with your Mint Rewards card, and you can pick a rose dipped in 24-karat gold. And win up to $2,000 cash Saturday nights, February 7th, 14th, and 21st. Everything's coming up roses during our Gold Rose Drawing in Williamsburg, Kentucky. Check out themintgaming.com for details. Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Winning just got closer.
I spoke to a number of commissioners yesterday. Some of you will see I called. You'll see a missed call from me on your phone, but to those of you that spoke with me, thank you. Here is the Anderson County Emergency Services response that was written Monday. To Commission. Dear Commissioners, I am writing this in reference to the complaint received regarding a delayed EMS response. Anderson County EMS takes all complaints and concerns of this nature very seriously, as timely emergency response is fundamental to the service we provide our community. Upon learning of this incident, a review was initiated immediately while the call was still going on. Since that time, that's odd, don't you think that they started? Okay. Since that time, we've conducted a thorough review of the circumstances surrounding the response in order to identify contributing factors. This review includes an examination of system processes and personnel actions related to the call. Based on the information identified during the investigation, appropriate discipline was issued in accordance with established policies and procedures. To who? In addition to addressing individual accountability, we are continuing to evaluate the incident and are considering further actions to improve our response system. As part of this process, discussions with partner agencies, including the Karnes Fire Department and AMR, are ongoing. These conversations include consideration of additional first response support from the Karnes Fire Department and potential automatic dispatch procedures involving AMR for locations where response requires entry into Knox County to reach the address. Mayor Frank is aware of this situation has been aware of this situation since it occurred. We have continued to keep her informed throughout this review and the improvement process. We remain committed to maintain high standards of service, accountability, and transparency, and we appreciate the opportunity to address this matter. Now, I'll tell you, if you've ever had to call 911, it doesn't matter if they get there in 30 seconds or 20 minutes. It seems like it seems like a lifetime to you. And I know that because I used them once. And I'll tell you something else. I was lucky enough when I had a medical emergency. Those of you that know me know what happened. I was given some medication for pneumonia, Lethaquin. I was allergic to it, went into anaphylactic shock. Everything swelled up, couldn't breathe. It was just by an act of God that my physician, that same day that I had went in to see her, worried that the pneumonia could scar my lungs and cause me asthma in the future. And so, just so I'd have it, she prescribed me an inhaler. And if I had not had that inhaler, who knows what would have happened. But I was lucky enough to be in the city of Clinton, and the city has a first responder team that was there before EMS by 10 minutes or better. They got there quick. I think the Clinton first responders probably arrived in single-digit minutes, under 10. Maybe 8 minutes. I can't remember. It was fast, and then the EMS got there probably about 15 minutes. But that said, I wonder if the county could equip our volunteer fire departments with first responder EMS trucks. It'd be cheaper than fire trucks, faster than fire trucks, to get some, their personnel are trained to see if they could help and get out in these situations. Because, again, I'm only speaking from my situation. I know that the Clinton City first responders probably saved my life, kept me okay until EMS got there. I can't remember what they gave me a shot of. They gave me a shot of something to calm me down. And EMS came in and got me all fixed up, transported me to the hospital. But this serious stuff, and I'm just reading and reporting I'm not putting in any viewpoints, or I'm not, I'm just simply telling you what the facts are as I have them. But how do we address this? We can't go back and bring Mr. Smith back, but hopefully we can learn from it and do better. And many of you have called us in times past worried about response times. You've had an emergency. Luckily, maybe not a life and death emergency, but an emergency. So I wonder how we can address this, because you want to just know. Now, this is going to be a Ron opinion. Do you want to know what the opinion of what my opinion is? We stage all over the county trying to get to places quickly, right? We would probably need more vehicles. We probably need more places for which they could stage and be there quicker. But that's money. That's more cars. That's more people. That's more EMS employees. Or like I said, possible that you equip volunteer fire departments with first responders so that they can get out quick if they're closer. If it is a rural area, there's a chance that the volunteer fire department is already the department on call, or the department of record should there be a fire. If they could get their first responders that are trained, just like the Clinton first responders, if they could get them there, there's a possibility that could help EMS. I don't know. It's a sad situation. And you heard it. I mean, that's... So by bringing this to the forefront, by bringing it to you, I hope that it encourages and brings about some change, real change, not just lip service kind of change. I wanted to bring that to you today. It's been a couple of months in the making. It happened in December, and then the conversations began in January, and there you go. I'll open my phone lines up to see if you guys have anything to add. If you guys have anything that you would like to contribute. 865-457-1380 or 877-711-4005. Yes, please call. That'd be great. All right, I'm going to take this break, go to the phones, see what you guys have cooking. 865-457-1380. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. It's a terribly sad situation. Most likely preventable situation. The men and women that we employ with our EMS are highly trained and skilled, and had they been able to get there in time, most likely had the training, the skills, and the education to save this gentleman's life. Oh yeah, they're highly skilled and trained. They know what they're doing, but they got to get there. They got to be able to be there. How do we do that? How do we make sure that we're able to cover this county with the services that we require citizens to pay, or we pay for? I mean, every dime that anybody in EMS collects comes from you, the taxpayer. They work for you, the taxpayer. And so it's okay for you, the taxpayer, to want them to be able to get to you or anybody else in enough time that you don't die. I think that's pretty reasonable. What you think? Good morning, WYSH Radio. Ask your neighbor.
Good morning to you, Ron.
Hey, Mike.
That was kind of hard to listen to.
It is hard to listen to. Very hard to listen to.
I mean, I'm assuming that was David Smith in the background that was sort of moaning. And
it was. That's what she said. It was her husband, David, in the background. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Well, it was even more kind of disturbing there to hear the people there at the 911 there just joking and having a good time.
Yeah,
like it wasn't important. They'll be there.
Yeah,
they're on their way. But I don't know. I wish that if there'd been disciplinary action taken against somebody, they should have named them out. Name some names.
I understand. That's why I'm asking. I just put it out here to ask you guys. You're the ones that pay for it. It's your tax dollars, all of our tax dollars that pay for it. So it's something we need to address, something that we need to get fixed. But it's a sad situation. This had to happen before people paid attention to it, because how many times have you heard people call me here on this program over the years and fuss about response times? I mean, we've had numerous calls, and I mean, we got a big county, and it's hard to cover all that county. I've seen them; they stage a lot down by my house, down by Rocky Top, to get where they need to go. I understand that. I'm not being critical at all. I'm just pointing out what happened and saying, how do we fix this where this doesn't happen again?
Where did the Smiths live at, Ron? I didn't quite catch that.
I don't have the exact address, but I think it was down toward the Knox County. It's
Anderson County, Knox County line.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think. I'm going to check with. I'll check, see if I can get the exact address. I don't know if they released that or not. I don't know if they released the exact address, but that's where I think it was. Yes, going down into Knoxville, going down into Knox County.
Well, I know they've had discussions and commission meetings about possibly building an EMS station over in Claxton so that they could get better response time to people in that area.
Well, I mean, how much money is one man's life worth, Matt?
You can't put a price tag on
that. Enough to build a new building so that this don't happen anymore? I don't know. Enough maybe. How about we take all the money that we set aside to buy industrial property that we've never done and build an EMS headquarters somewhere else where they can stage from? Because we got that money that they told us 15 years ago that we were putting aside for. See, why don't we use it for something we need, and then we won't have citizens that pass away when we don't have the services we need while we're stockpiling money to buy land we don't even know if will ever come available. That should be illegal.
Well, I think...
Call in and defend keeping that money now, guys. Call in and defend keeping that money for industrial property instead of building something and helping EMS. Go ahead. Call in and defend it. I dare you. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mike.
Oh, well, I'm saying I thought that I could remember some of that money being used to buy Chromebooks for the school.
There you go. Yeah.
Everything except for what it was.
Everything except. Yeah. Well, if we're going to use it for everything except what it was set aside for, it seems like this might have been a good idea to use it for.
Oh, I agree 100%. No kidding there. And they probably need a station too there somewhere up toward, because I don't know what the response time is if they have to get to up toward Briceville in that area.
It takes a long time up there too. Tim will tell you. In fact, Tim's going to call in. I'm going to get Tim to call in. Mr. Isbell, if you're tuning in, dialing in, will you dial up? Tim's going to call in.
I mean, it really was very sad, and I've only had to use them once. There's when I come down with pneumonia, and it seemed like they were here in pretty much a hurry. I mean,
they do.
It didn't take long.
Let me tell you something. I'm not throwing off on the men and women of our EMS. I'm not. And I understand, it's their job. They get these calls numerous times a day, and it is routine to them. And I understand that. I'm not throwing off on that. But there's we've obviously got a problem that we need to address so that they can do their job in a reasonable amount of time. They can get where they need to go. Whether that problem is the communication from dispatch to the units didn't tell them that they weren't rolling. If you remember, he called them and they said, oh yeah, their rolling's going to be about 8 minutes. Well, then they weren't even, when the next call, the third call, they hadn't even left yet, 16 minutes in. So somebody was lying either to the Smiths that, hey, yeah, they're on the way in 8 minutes, or they were lying to dispatch, but a man died over it.
Yeah, That's horrible to listen. I couldn't hardly take listening to it, to be honest. It's just very sad. I don't know if Tim's going to call in a minute or not. I'll get off here. I was going to ask you one other question. I don't know.
Go ahead and ask.
If it's been resolved or if it's in litigation or what, the goat case.
I haven't heard any more about the goat gate.
I believe that lady at the last, I didn't get to see the last commission meeting because of the network was down.
Yeah.
So, but the one before that is evidently, from what I understood there, she had already retained litigation.
Well, I can understand that. We messed up a little bit on that scenario. You can't go in and remove livestock. I mean, you can't go onto somebody's property and cut the bridle or whatever. There's a procedure that you have to go through when dealing with livestock. That's what the lady from UT Ag Center or Ag said.
Yep, she sure did.
All right, Mike, let me grab. There's somebody on too. I don't know if it's Tim or not, but let me.
Probably is. All right. Appreciate you, Ron.
Hey, no, I appreciate you, buddy. Have a good day.
Okay.
Bye. Good morning, WYSH. This is Ask Your Neighbor. Hello.
Hey there, Ron.
I'm here, buddy. Hey.
Sorry about that. I don't have any office help today, but I want to call in and try to get through the emotional part first.
Yeah.
Hard to talk about.
It is hard to talk about.
But the lady came to operations committee first.
Yes.
And spoke about it. It's so, so sad.
It is sad.
And, what can you say? Because other than, I'm sorry, but we're in a position that we can try to keep it from happening again.
Yes.
So, as the operations committee, we've taken it up and we've talked about what we can do. And first of all, let me tell you, Nathan does a terrific job.
Yeah, I hope nobody thinks I'm throwing off on these men and women. I'm not.
No, they're understaffed. They're undermanned. I think they're down 6 people right now. We've, gave them money to be able to pay more. We've bought more ambulance. We spent a lot of money at that. It's still other things that got to be done.
Is it staging?
Pay and disparity, but
is it staging areas?
We talked about is first responders, and this is what we talked about this month in operations. I had talked to Commissioner Wandale. He's the fire commissioner.
Yes.
And told him to run it by, or I wasn't able to be at that meeting. I had a different one, about putting first responder vehicles at the volunteer fire departments where they're staged in these rural areas, especially, and we've talked about over in Devonia.
Yes.
They're going to Rosedale and how far away that is. Then once you get away, you don't have communication if you're not at the right address.
Yeah, that's about a 40-minute. That can be up to like a 40-minute response time getting over the mountain like that.
At least.
Yeah.
At least. And then, and what the proposal is to buy one of these, and it's basically a utility truck, and outfit it with all the rescue stuff that we need. And we had asked that maybe the lieutenant governor, through his connections with Rome State, LMU, and all these other nursing schools, is if we could work out some type of program with them also to help man these vehicles.
You mean like upkeep of them and stuff?
No, to have somebody that's more experienced, as a first responder.
Okay.
It's almost like a co-op, because even in college, you got to go out and you got to work on the side.
Sure.
On your field. But it's just an idea in worse.
Yeah.
We need to buy the vehicles. We need to go to the volunteer fire department. We need to make sure that the first responder is there. Because the first responder, most of the time, say a good percentage of the time, can save a life while the ambulance is on its way. They can administer certain things.
As
you know, I've had probably 5 wrecks right outside my building out here on 25W.
Yes.
And we had a first responder then. they was always on site and administering until the ambulance could get there. So I know that works.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, we don't have one right now because he had actually got hurt. The one that we had, the volunteer, he'd got hurt doing first responders. So he's been out of commission, not able to return to that.
Is the first
this is something that we're definitely going to address? The county. We realize it's so unfortunate, so sad, but you're right, Ron. We're going to do something.
Could the addition? I mean, what does Nathan at EMS? Does he think that possibly equipping the rural fire departments, the volunteer fire departments, with a first responder vehicle? Does he feel like that would help?
He hasn't been involved yet.
Okay.
In the conversation, because in government, it's not like in business. You can make a decision and do it then. So it has to go through all these committees. And so we brought it up in operations committee, and I think Commissioner Foster brought it up to go ahead and send it back to fire commission again for further discussion. So,
well, Tracy's fire commissioner. Tracy, call in. Let's discuss it and get it done.
Oh, he's on board.
No, I know. I know. I spoke to Tracy yesterday. Yes, well,
everybody that was at the meeting, the mayor, she's very encouraging about getting a program like that started as well.
Yes.
So,
well, it's a terribly unfortunate event with terribly unfortunate circumstances, and the very least that we can do as a county is fix it so that nobody else has to deal with it, because it was definitely. The ball. Somebody dropped the ball. Period.
Well, I can tell you, going back to when she got up and she spoke and sitting, as chairman with a gavel, all I could say at the time is, "I'm so sorry," and just feel so sad.
It is sad.
But then again, having the blessing of sitting in that seat is we have the opportunity to make it better, and that's what we're going to do.
All right, buddy. Well, I believe you. I know that you guys will do the best that you can. I get very frustrated sometimes. I try not to, because we spend a lot of money on a lot of things. Like I said, we were taxed a number of cents on the dollar to buy property that nobody's ever identified, and we've been taxed for it for 15 years plus now. Why not use that money to do something that saves somebody's life instead of just hope someday we find industrial property? Or let's tax people for industrial property and then give it to the schools who already have a budget to buy them Chromebooks. That's wrong. Government should not be able to tax me to buy industrial property and then just change their mind and go willy-nilly spend it on whatever they want to. You shouldn't be able to do that. And anybody that agreed to that should be fired.
But, I've asked to give the money back before.
I know you have.
But you're right. That can, I'll look into that, because I think it's down to where it's been split up and put elsewhere.
Well, the people that got it need to give it back, because that's just lying. We're going to take this money to buy property, but we're going to buy Chromebooks with it. That's a lie. How else do you, let's tax people to buy industrial property. Hey, let's use this money to buy Chromebooks. Hey, let's use this money for this. Hey, see, that bothers me when we could have used it for something like this. I know that Clinton wants another fire station. I know that we need for the county EMS locations where they can stage and not just be sitting in a parking lot. It'd be nice to have a building where they can have a cup of coffee, and you know what I mean? So we need some more staging, and probably, like you said, if we had a first responder with the volunteer fire departments, I mean, that can't hurt, because it's usually those rural areas that we have a hard time getting to.
Yeah. No action taken is a failure.
Agreed.
Or no effort is a failure.
Agreed.
So, but I think, and Commissioner McCamey knows about this as well, I think there's like $1.2 million left in the ARPA fund somewhere, but of course, sometimes those funds are limited what you can use them for. But, people pay taxes for public safety, for schools, for our ambulance. That's the top things in your roads. That's the top things that, that your taxes go for.
Yes.
And so this is part of public safety to me.
Absolutely, this is part of public safety.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm attached to it simply because I've lived through it, and I know what it's like to sit there. I know what it's like not to be able to breathe. I had 3 little boys. Trey was just probably 8 or 10 at the time, and the twins were probably 4 or 6. I know what it's like sitting there and not being able to breathe, and it's only by the grace of God that I'd been prescribed that inhaler, because I don't know if I'd have made it the 8 minutes that it took the first responders to get there if I hadn't had that. But I know what it's like to need them to be there, and I know how relieved I was when Clinton City, that big red fire truck come rolling up, and they came in, and then EMS got there a few minutes later.
Yeah.
I know the need.
It's hard to grasp, but what we've heard today, I think, really touches people.
I hope so. Because, we need to do something. I know we've got a lot of needs in this area. Our sheriff department has a lot of needs, and I know that they do. EMS has a lot of needs. It just seems like we sure do collect a whole lot of money, and our tax revenue has went up exponentially.
Tax revenue, we're paying more property tax. Although the rate was reduced, people are paying more, property tax.
Yes, and our sales tax, go back 10 years ago and look at Anderson County sales tax and come talk to me about what we're doing today. It's way higher.
Ron, I keep up with all the numbers.
I know.
And see the how much it improves every month.
Yes. We've got money.
Yep.
And we've got money without.
And we have been. We just got to watch how we spend it, just like what you were talking about. Because, when I came on in 2010, we had $150,000 in the bank, borrow money to make payroll.
Yes, sir.
It's because we didn't have any growth previously, and we kept spending out of the general fund to keep from raising taxes. But you remember, so many years ago when we had this, we did a program on your radio show about needing growth.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, all of a sudden, this started happening overnight.
Well, we started getting brick and mortar growth, but what we got was internet sales growth, substantial sales tax revenue.
Substantial. Yeah, sure is. Especially to the cities. The county gets, their portion, but the cities have really done well.
Absolutely. It's helped the cities more than it's helped the county, but it's contributed to the county.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, I guess I without being on the inside, without knowing the budget, I know that there is a great deal more money coming in today than there was a number of years ago. So, what services have we added to better the lives of our citizens with those extra tax dollars that we're collecting? Whether it's on the, the property tax revenue that has went up. We're paying more property tax, whether it's the sales tax revenue that we're now collecting we didn't used to, this internet tax that we've got. What do we do with that money? What have we added? What have we done since let's just go back to this conversation that you and I started having when they started collecting this, going back about 6 years, when we were telling people this is going to be a big boom and people didn't believe it, but it is. What have we done in the last 6 years in addition to what we were doing before? What have we added with all of this new revenue? I know we got $50 million in the bank or whatever. That's great, but what have we done for the citizens?
Well, we have added a lot to public safety, to the sheriff's department, and to EMS, but it's just not enough yet.
Okay.
Not enough. And what we got to do is structure this, to make sure that, I'm never going to be in favor for a tax increase unless it's like saving a life.
Exactly.
Or for public safety.
Well, and I'm not for a tax increase, but I'll tell you what, if you came to me and asked me if I'd pay a penny more or let somebody pass away, I'd pay a penny more.
Absolutely.
I'd pay a penny more.
And that's what was said the other night. You can't put a price on a life.
No, absolutely not. And
to do it expeditiously. We don't need to talk about this for a year. We need to come up with a plan quick and start putting it in flow.
Absolutely. And I am not being critical, guys. And if I sound like I am, I'm sorry. I get aggravated. I get mad because I know that we've got the money, the revenue stream to do this. I'm getting ready. Now I'm going to make people mad. I just don't think we've got the people that know how to run business and handle money, income and outgo. I just don't believe it, or we would have money to do the public safety things that we need because we've got the revenue coming in. What are we wasting it on?
I agree. That money in the bank belongs to the taxpayers.
Well, then we need to use it as opposed to just letting it
for the taxpayer. Yes, to make it a better place to live.
So, my request of commissioners is educate yourself on how to budget and use this money for public safety, public works, for the things that we need. We don't need industrial land right now. Maybe we need it, but it's not available. So get that money out. Let's quit.
I'm on that board too, and it's just not available.
Well, I mean, if it comes available, let's burn that bridge when we cross it. If it comes available, you guys can come back to the citizens and explain to us why you need it. But in the meantime, instead of not funding our EMS to where it needs to be, or our sheriff's department to where it needs to be, so we can stockpile money that may or may not be used for industrial property. Let's take that money. And the school's got plenty of money. That's our biggest line item budget, the schools. And then they got to come to us to buy their own Chromebooks. Can Dr. Parrott and the board not manage their own money? I mean,
they've really they're in better financial shape than they've ever been.
Well, then curtail their budget
due to the internet sales tax.
I just say again, I'm not trying to disparage anybody, but I mean, if one entity's got more than they need, and another entity doesn't have enough to save a life, I say move some of that money over, move it around. Yeah.
And I may be wrong, but I think it was 2 cents that was levied for the industrial, and so far 1.5 cents been moved, and there's only 0.5 cent that goes into that every year.
Well, I'll tell you what, wherever that 1.5 cent goes, there ought to be some legal liability for us, the taxpayer, because you guys, as our governing body, can literally make it a law, a rule that we have to pay it. And so we have to pay it, and we've been paying it. And you told us that it was going to be for this, and it's not. It's just, I mean, you could come in and say we're going to use it to save lives, and then go use it to, whatever, go on vacations. I don't know what you can and can't do with the money, but I know that the commission has not bought industrial property, and I know that the sheriff needs money. I know that EMS needs money, and I know that a man died because you guys aren't funding it enough. So fund it. That's me.
I agree with that. I've had the same conversations, and it takes, I'm 1 vote out of 16. But
we'll see how the other 15 vote.
I agree with you 100% on what you just said.
Well, and there's money, and people are saying, "Oh, is he calling for tax increase?" I'm not calling for a tax increase because, I live within my budget. If I have $15, I don't spend $19. And I usually don't spend the whole 15. I might spend 13 and hold on to 2 for what I need later. Yeah.
If you got 15, you say I've got 10, and you put 5 somewhere else.
You hold on. And so, I mean, I'm not confident that we have business-minded people that know you can't spend more than you got to spend the money wisely and get the most mileage out of it. And I think we get more mileage out of EMS or the sheriff's department than we do out of pretend industrial property. And I'm telling you, if Mercedes-Benz or Ford wants to locate and build a plant here, I bet we could find the land and the money to buy it pretty quick. Or if we found the land and they were going to come and bring 10,000 jobs, I think the people of Anderson County
like the bridge.
Yeah, would do it. You know what I mean? They would.
The growth is going on over there is phenomenal.
Yeah. So I think if presented with that, the people of the county would say, yeah, it's worth maybe a tax increase to get those jobs or whatever it is. But
yeah.
In the meantime, we've got things like this happening that need to be funded or looked at, or maybe they've got enough money and they're not using it correctly. I don't know what the problem is, but there's a problem, and hopefully you guys will figure it out and get it fixed.
Well, I'm going to work at it. I can guarantee you that. I'm not on the budget committee, but I try, I listen to all of them or try to attend them. And, I really love being on the operations committee. We got a great committee there too, and so does the budget. But yeah, we've got money in the bank, so we need to know, we need to see where we can use it the best for, this is an awakening.
Yeah, it is. And
for everybody.
Yeah, it is. And I appreciate you calling in, Tim. I really do. And I appreciate Miss Smith. I talked to her yesterday, or corresponded with her yesterday or the day before. And it's just a sad situation. She's handling it a lot better than I would.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's no way I could have got in that way she did. I was fighting, the emotions, just sitting there listening.
I got to imagine. Let me ask you this. I'm going to switch gears on you. And Mike asked me this. What's going on with the goat that animal control removed and then gave back? Is there a case? Is that
there
fixed?
There is ongoing investigation that's been done by the law director's office, and we haven't got a reply on that yet, but I will check.
Okay. Now, how does the law director investigate?
We'll have something.
How does the law director investigate that? What is there to investigate? We know that they took the goat. The UT Ag specialist spoke that they didn't have the right to take the goat. What are we investigating?
To see if what was done and how to make changes if things were done wrong, and I'm going to say if they were or were not. I'll have to wait on the law director for that because I get scolded sometimes for talking so openly in public. But, that's what we're supposed to do. That's what I think.
Well,
I'm supposed to hold anything back.
Well, that's true. All right. Yeah. Well, Mike had asked about that just before you, and I hadn't heard anything about it, and just was wondering. All right.
I'll send a message to the law director as soon as we hang up and see what he says.
Thank you, Tim. I really appreciate you, buddy. I know you're busy.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Bye-bye. And Jamie, I'd like to see what Jamie is investigating with that. I'm not accusing anybody. I'm not disparaging anybody. I'm just going off what the lady from the UT said. So we've got to get this stuff under control, make sure that our people know what they're doing, that they're trained appropriately, and that we can get to them if we need to get to them. Again, these are areas where we could be spending, using that money that we're putting up. I'm telling you, if county commission continues to ignore this and think it's good to keep stockpiling money while stuff like this is going on, when we've got animal control people that don't know the rules, that's just the fact. That's the fact. Now, if we're going to protect them and leave them there, then let's teach them how to run the place, or let's get somebody in that knows how to run the place. That's what we need to do. I'm not saying they do or they don't. I'm just saying let's make sure they do. And let's make sure that we can get to our citizens when they're in need. Our fire needs to get to them. Our police needs to get to them. Our ambulance service needs to get to them. And in order to do that, our roads need to be clear and taken care of. Gary's holding up his end, keeping the roads open and going. All right. 865-457-1380. I'll let you guys weigh in if you've got anything to say. We'll come back and we'll do that for you next. 865-457-1380. 877-711-4005. We've got a great county. We've got great revenue coming in. I think we've got great representation in every way, shape, form, and fashion. Everybody just needs to get their heads together, work together, stop finger pointing. And here we are. This stuff happens during election season. You guys try to make hay over somebody passing away, and I'm going to burn you on the air like you've not been, before. I will. I promise. This is not a situation you guys need to politicize in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But with that said, phone lines are open, 865-457-1380. In 2 minutes, I'll come back and talk to you.
Do you have an unusual colored car? Think it might be hard to match that color if you're ever in an accident or need body work?
And see, that's some of the things we got.
That's Barry with H&H Body Shop.
They had advanced so far in paint technologies that I can match, blends, tint. I mean, I feel comfortable telling you. I have people come in with some very unusual colors, and they say, he'll never match. I said, yes, well, we make it work. They've come up with some marvelous things where there's research known that you can even know what year and what day and what time that vehicle was made, what batch of paint was used. They know research whether that color is tinted off red or blue or yellow to give you some idea of what to deal with. Multiple things that you can do with, obviously, the computer.
All of today's latest technology, and still locally owned and locally operated. H&H Body Shop at 749 North Main Street in Clinton. Call 865-457-9735.
Transform your home with the elegance of Karen's Carpet on Clinton Highway in Powell, offering luxury vinyl planks from Stanton and engineered floors, and carpet selections from Mohawk, Shaw, Dixie Home, and Dreamweaver. Discover the richness of Bruce Hardwood. Our products are designed for style and durability, providing the perfect foundation for your living space. At Karen's Carpet, it's not just about flooring. It's about crafting an environment of comfort and beauty. With free in-home estimates and financing available through Synchrony, upgrading your home has never been easier. Experience the quality and service that have made us the store that gives you more. Visit Karen'sCarpetSales.com or call 865-945-3353 or stop by 1961 Clinton Highway today to start your home transformation. Karen's Carpet, the store that gives you more.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm going to make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing.
Mom, how do you feel?
I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
If I was on commission, this is what I would do. If I pull a petition and run for county commission, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to if I was a commissioner, I would make a motion that we take the half cent or whatever's left and immediately, today, divide that money in half between the Sheriff's Department and EMS. That'll give them a little bit. And you're already paying it. You're just putting it in a pile. They've just got it piled up. I'd take every bit of the money piled up and every bit of the half cent that we're continuing to charge the taxpayer for something that you can't produce, land, and I would allocate it immediately today. I'd make a motion, see if anybody had enough backbone to second it, allocate it to split it in half, take the pile out, give them half each, take the half cent, give them half each or whatever's left. Good morning. That's what I'd do. Good morning, WYSH. Ask your neighbor.
Well, you got a chance to be able to do that. You could run for county commissioner or school board.
I could.
And all it takes, and I know you got it, all it takes is just to be able to park and walk up to the second floor of the courthouse.
I know, buddy. I know.
And get that petition, and then you could either do county commissioner or you could do school board. And I'm getting phone calls left and right. Has Ron made a decision yet? And I said, well, I don't know. I've not really talked to him. I figured I'd ask him Monday when I was there. But you can solve some of these problems that you talk about.
And I'll tell you, David, you and other folks have said, put your money where your mouth is. I had a conversation yesterday. I talked to a couple of our county commissioners, and I don't know. I'm really trying to decide. I've got my boys. I'm trying. The twins are getting ready to turn 16. They're 15, and they got a lot going on. Trey's in college, with band and everything. I feel like I'm running all the time, and I'm trying to make. And somebody said this, just ask the boys what they think. And I thought, well, that's probably what I need to do. I just need to probably sit down. I was talking to a commissioner yesterday and said, ask your kids. I said, yeah.
It's a family decision.
It is.
And the family has to be all in on it. Believe it or not, they do, because, there'll be people who say, well, your dad's this or your dad's that. And the family has to be all in and bought in that you're going to do the right things. Now, I don't want to talk a lot about this. I don't want to take away some of our topics for Monday, but I understood from listening to the meeting the other night when they were talking about this that there's no more first responder program. That has expired and left. There are some fire departments that are still doing it, but as far as being under the 10-year plan with the county, it's gone. But they are still some fire departments that are still doing it. Now, that's what I thought I heard. Somebody might call in and say he's crazy. He needs hearing aids. My wife says that all the time. I need hearing aids.
Mine too.
So maybe I'm wrong, but I understood them to say that the first responder program was nothing that was mandatory anymore. I mean, these cities were not under it. I think Clinton and Oak Ridge is still doing it. I think there's still some volunteer fire departments trying to do it, but there's no big agreement out here anymore like there was, or there's nothing to keep you hanging there like there was before of getting a fire truck or getting this or getting that.
Did when we say it's not that we don't have a program to do it anymore, was there some kind of funding or something that brought
you a fire truck? You had to be involved in the first responder program to be eligible to get a fire truck.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, oh wow. That's gone now. They've done away with that. That's what I understand. I'm not up there. I'm not at the meetings. I'm not on any of the committees. I don't know nothing about it. I just watch county commission. I watch Tim Isabel in operations. I watch the budget committee. That's the only way you learn anything. You got to watch Tim Isabel and them run operations and watch them run the budget committee, and you don't really need to watch county commission. If you'll watch him, you'll know what's going on.
Yeah, that's where the sausage is made for sure.
That's right. That's where it's at. That's where it's all at. But I will say this, okay?
Yes, sir.
And this is easy for me to say. I'm not in this predicament. And that's a sad situation that you're talking about.
Yes.
And I would be, if I was involved in it, I'd be highly PO'd right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay? If this was going on in the city of Clinton, I'd be one, I'm just going to say it like it is. I'd be one pissed off city councilman right now.
I know you would.
Okay? There wouldn't be no retraining or nothing like that, but I'd be wanting somebody's head rolled on the carpet.
I know.
I really would, because I think it's unacceptable. But I don't have anything to do with that over there, so that's, I wish them well getting everything, but I think it's time that, I know nobody wants to raise taxes, and everybody hates it, but this is a time where it warrants raising taxes almost. It's for EMS and for the sheriff's department. My God, if we won't raise them for them, what will we raise them for? Nothing.
Well, that's what I said.
We can take money. I'm sure we can take money from other departments, but how does that affect other departments? Will there have to be layoffs? There's a lot of questions that has to be answered about taking money from other people. Now, to take a half a cent of whatever on the tax that's left for that county property that you're talking about or whatever's in that fund, I bet it ain't enough to fool with.
Probably not.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not saying raise taxes. I'm not saying I'm for raising taxes. I'm just saying this is one situation where you can justify it.
I agree.
I think this is a justified thing. Would everybody like that? No, they wouldn't. But you could tell them why. You could explain why. If you won't raise it for EMS and for the sheriff's department, then there's nothing out here you'll raise it for. I don't want to hear it. You won't raise it for nothing.
Oh, I agree with you.
It's time that if we have to, here's what, Ron, you say this all the time. Me and you say this all the time. Quit worrying about getting reelected and do the right thing.
Amen. There it is. I'm with you 100%.
Quit worrying about it. Quit worrying about getting reelected. Do the right thing, and then you can tell the people you've done the right thing. And you know what? People will respond to you for doing the right thing.
Especially when it's hard.
Yeah. This is not a hard decision to make.
Mm-hmm.
A man's life was lost.
Exactly. I agree.
This is not hard.
That's what I said. You pick between a penny and a man's life. Let's raise this. I'm there. I'm right there with you. This is one of those instances, like I said, where you go to the taxpayer and you explain it, and we're not heartless. We're not. You know what I mean? People understand that we need money to run our government, and things like this need to be funded.
Now, let's find out what happened. Let's find out exactly what happened at EMS, and let's let them do whatever they got to do. Let Nathan and them run whatever investigation they got to run. Let's find out what happened and what he comes back with and what his recommendation. He always comes back with some pretty good stuff, and they're pretty smart up there. There's some good people. And I always said when I was working on the police department, I don't want nobody picking me up if I got to go to the hospital in St. Anderson County, the EMS.
Amen.
I want to be picked up by the best and taken care of by the best.
Yes.
And I stand by that today.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not in that line of work anymore. But if something happens to me at my house, I pray to God it's Anderson County EMS walking through the door and Clinton Fire Department walking through the door, and not somebody else that we've got coming in here to help us out. I know it could happen, but we got the best. Let's keep the best. And we're just in a weird situation right now. All this money having to be spent. I mean, even if we go out and give all these big raises that Russell wants, he's already told us it's not going to be enough.
No, because somebody else...
If they do 15% today and it goes in their next check, Knox County's already told them we're going to raise 10%. So we're already backing up. We're already back to whole 10% again.
Yep.
I don't know how we get out of that. Somebody smarter than me's got to do it, but this is not a hard decision. And I know Tim Isabel. I have a lot of respect for Tim Isabel. I think the world of Tim Isabel. Tracy Wandell's another one I think the world of. Denise Palmer's another one that I know a little bit. Miss Beauchamp, she does a fine job. She's not afraid to stick her nose in there. I guarantee she'll stick her nose in there and find out what's going on.
Yes, Saber will. You better believe it.
Saber will. She'll stick her nose in there and find out what's going on. We might not like what she comes back with. She'll stick her nose. But and Robert, we got the best person in the world.
Robert ran it. He was here for the creation of it. He knows all about it.
He was over EMS forever.
Yes.
Man, God, that's another one I have a lot of respect for. And I know there's a lot of younger people on there, men and women. Listen to some of these old heads. They've been around for a while. They've been around for a while for a reason.
Yes, sir.
They're there, and I honestly believe Tim Isabel and Robert and them will do the right thing, and I look forward to watching in the near future. Now, we'll talk more about it on Monday, but I'll see you on Monday, buddy.
I look forward to it, my friend.
Maybe you'll have a decision made by Monday, and we can have a big announcement.
You never know. I might go pull a petition tonight. I have no idea. Tracy and I have talked about it till
I heard that, buddy. I heard that. But like I said, it is a family decision.
Yeah.
My family's involved in mine, and I've got my mind made up what I'm going to do. I know exactly what I'm going to do now. I met with my family over the holidays and had a few doctor's visits and got some really good reports, and I'm ready to rock and roll and go on. And
good.
I'll make an announcement here. I didn't say I was running. I just said I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
I will make an announcement here shortly, and I'll make it on WYSH, and I'll make it just like I've made everything else.
Okay.
I know it's hard to raise taxes.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I understand that, but let's not worry about it. Everything I've done on city council, and I think I've done the right things. And if I'm not, the people will go to the polls and tell me.
Absolutely.
And I'll take, and whatever their will is, I'll take that. And I'll live with that. And you know what? I'll ride away in the sunset, and I'll be just fine. I really will.
Well, I hope you're going to ride away in the sunset and stay on city council. That's it.
Well, no, I have made it. I've got the decision. Like I said, I've discussed it with all my family, and everybody's on board, and we all know what I'm doing. And like I said, I'll make it. I might do it Monday when I come. I'll see. I'll think about it. I still think it's a little early. It's not until November of this year, and that's a few months away. But I will. I know there's some people waiting for me to make that decision, and I guess I could go ahead and get it out of the way and Maybe I'll make that Monday when you announce you're running for Harris County School Board. Listen, this is honest God truth. I'm sitting over here at the hospital right now waiting on my wife to get out of a doctor's visit. And I had a guy to call me. And he said, hey, I need to know if Ron Meredith made his mind up yet. I said, wait. No, I said, I told him, I said, I have not talked to him. I'll see him Monday. And I was going to wait till Monday and ask him. He said, well, I'm talking to people, and people's all on board. So we need to know what to do here. We need to get it rolling. I said, buddy, I'll have you an answer after Monday.
Well, I'll tell you this. I've been talking to some folks that I trust. You're one of them. I've talked to you about this. A lot of folks are encouraging me if I'm going to do it, to do it as a commissioner, where you would deal with the finances in and out of the schools. I don't know.
Good with that too.
Yeah. I just don't know, David. I've told everybody this. I don't run just to run. I've only ran for office when I felt like I had something to offer. I'm frustrated right now with our commission because situations like this shouldn't happen when you're flush with money like we are, and we do have money in this county. And whether it's the constituents or whether it's the money that we've got in our rainy day fund or whether it's money that we're putting away for stuff that we haven't bought yet, we ought to reallocate what's important and get the important things taken care of. Then we can do the wants. We got to do the needs, then we can do the wants.
And I've heard Tracy Wandell make a comment about taxpayer dollars for, and I can't remember exactly what it is. That money's there for a reason. It's there to spend.
Yes.
Something along those lines. He makes that comment quite frequently about spending money. It's taxpayer money, and he makes a comment about it.
Well, none of us
spending money, and but like I said, I really feel like that Tracy and the ones I named out there, Tim and them and Robert and Denise and
yes,
and Michael Foster and all them, they'll make. Hey, Ron, let me talk to you later. I need to take this phone call. It's important.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Right.
And I just, I don't know. I think every municipality in the country has problems like we're talking about today, maybe not to the extent that, somebody passes away, but certainly budgetary with public safety, police, EMS. But I also think that it's not brain surgery or rocket science, guys. It's really not. You take the things that are absolutely essential and the most needed, and you take care of those first. And then those are your needs. Those are your have-to-haves. Your food, your stuff, the have-to-haves. Then, after you get all that taken care of, budgeted, and money safely appropriated, then you can do the wants. We want some new industry. We don't necessarily need new industry right here in Anderson County. Oh, we've got a lot. We're the #1 employer of Campbell County and Scott County. But we would like to have more industry. It's good for us. It's good for us. So, but is it a need for our survival? Not today. It might be in the future. We might have to have more industry in the future should something change. But we just private growth, private industry growth, along with some of the government growth, especially when you're talking about these new nuclear and power that's coming in. There's lots of new things coming now as we speak, not down the road, not 10 years from now. It's happening today, right now. And it's revenue producing, and it's job producing, and it's positive for our county. Got a lot of positive stuff. Bird in hand or two in the bush or bird in the bush, whatever. We've got a lot coming, and we can leverage that success to fund things like we need with EMS or with the Sheriff's Department. And there are other needs, and for those of you who are out there raising your hand going, well, we need money too. I know you do. I do. I realize that, and I'm not trying to leave anybody, any particular agency or any particular office out. I'm just saying those are two that I'm just telling you, I hope you never need EMS, and I hope you never have to call a policeman. But if you do, if you need it, at the time you call for that ambulance, chances are you'll pay anything you got to get them there. If you've got a child laying on the floor not breathing, you'd give them your car to get somebody there. If your mother or your father laying on the floor, dying, you're not going to argue about tax rate. You want them there, and they need to be there. So we need to do what we have to do. And we need a commission that'll do that. Not saying we don't have it. Hadn't happened yet, but would be nice if it did. Good morning. Welcome to Ask Your Neighbor. Welcome to Ask Your Neighbor this morning.
Buddy, I wish you would run for county commission.
Thank you. How are you, my friend?
I'm a kissing, buddy.
How's Renee?
She's getting a little bit better, not a whole lot.
Okay. Well,
I really wish you would run for county commission because we need some help, buddy, up there. Bad.
I'll call you when I get off there and talk to you. Tell you what folks been telling me.
Okay. I hope it's good.
Oh, it's good. No, there's a lot. I'm getting a lot of encouragement, and a lot of folks want to see, change. They want to see stuff done, But
yeah. Well, this ambulance system and the sheriff's department, this stuff has been going on for years and years, and they never have got up there and given them enough money to do their jobs right. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I do. And it's kind of hard. Everybody says they need more money, so I think sometimes you get numb to hearing it. You know what I mean? Everybody needs more. But at the end of the day, our police, our EMS, fire, those things are important. If we fail on that, people get hurt. People pass away. So we've got to get those important things taken care of first and foremost, and then we can deal with the other stuff,
Yeah, I remember when we just had hearses in a bottle of oxygen when they first started.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we didn't have no training. Now they've got good training.
Yep.
And they deserve their raises and stuff. The sheriff's department, they'll get here, and, we need the safety anymore.
Yeah. Buddy, you're right. You're absolutely...
Used to, you didn't have to lock your doors and go somewhere. Now you got to lock them and board them up to go somewhere.
You're right. And have a security system and a ring camera and everything else, and you still get people to steal from you.
No, that's the truth, buddy. That's the truth. Well, thank you, Ron.
No, thank you, Pat. And you tell Renee I said hi.
I will.
See you, buddy.
Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. 865-457-1380. Tomorrow is Country Lovin' here on WYSH. What's country? We hadn't done it in a while. We started it decades ago. And it's always been fun, and then I don't know why we stopped. But this year, man alive, have we got stuff starting tomorrow. As soon as WBIR News finishes at 6:27 tomorrow morning, I'm going to start giving stuff away. And I've got stuff. Let me see here. Free admission to Little Ponderosa Zoo. I got those. Thank you, guys. I'm going to be giving those away for Country Lovin'. Look at this. Look at this. And for those of you listening on the radio, I'm showing this on TV. That's why I say, look at this. Harrison's, I got those. I got gift certificates of Harrison. Hump Hammers. Hump Hammers, I got that to give away. Oh, China Inn. Got that to give away. Yeah, we've been working. We've been hustling. Of course, our friends at Millborn Bakery. If you guys haven't been to Millborn Bakery, please go down there and see them. I'll give you some stuff tomorrow. Okay, what else have I got? Oh, yeah. El Tepame Mexican Restaurant. Woohoo! There you go. There it is. We're going to be giving those away tomorrow. I've got gift certificates, too. Look at this. The Soup Kitchen. How about that? Soup Kitchen. Let's see. Ron, is that all? No, that is not all. Look here. You know what this is? You know what that is? Have you guys been to the new hammocks yet? Oh, my goodness. I've got that from our friends there at Hammocks Restaurant. What else have I got? Dirt Hippie Kitchen. Look at that. Up in Norris. I got that. I've got, look at this, knickknacks, ice cream. I don't know if I'm going to have time to give everything away tomorrow morning. And I know the girls, look at this, and I've got, look at that, dun-dun-dun, Domino's Pizza. How about that, boys and girls and moms and dads? That is awesome. Blossom. So all of that tomorrow. Is there anything else in here? I don't know. There's lots of stuff, huh? For Country Lovin' for Valentine's Day. And I want to say thank you to Melissa and all the sales staff for going out and getting all that stuff for us. So it's Country Lovin' tomorrow morning. Bright-eyed, bushy tail. They're going to get rolling. And that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to give stuff away all morning to you as a thank you from us and a thank you from our sponsors for listening to us and for sticking with us and all of the wonderful things you guys do for us. You don't even realize that just listening does great for us. Telling people to listen is amazing. I mean, that's like gold to us when you ask somebody to listen. Introduce us to other people. Thank you. And so, hopefully tomorrow we'll have enough that we get a bunch of fun winners having fun on Valentine's Day. You guys have plans? I do. I have plans where me and Tracy are going to go have some fun, do something fun. I look forward to it. It's been very hectic in the Meredith home over the last few weeks. Tracy started a new job where she is supervisor. It's kind of, she's going to get mad at me. It's kind of fun to watch. This is awful. No, it's not awful. It's just, okay. Because it's the first time that she's been over, and she's got a bunch of people that she's over. I think 19 people working for her. And so her phone's ringing a lot. My kid's sick. I can't come to work. Oh, this person did that. Oh, I said, there you go. Welcome to my world. So we've had that. She's just getting her feet under her with this new job. Very proud of her for what she's doing. But we've had that going on. And when I say hectic, I mean, it's funny because she said this yesterday. She said, this is the first time I've ever went to work with the moon out. She was up with me. We were leaving at about 5:30. Like, this is how I go to work every morning. I go to work, it's dark, and in the winter I come home and it's dark, and it's part of running things. So we've had that going on. And just everyday life with my boys and James David's basketball, and then he's got AA. It's not AAU, but he's got a basketball league that he plays in on top of the high school. Jacob, with his interests, Jacob's interest is tear something up and put it back together in my garage. And just, it's been busy at the Meredith house, very busy. And we've had conversations about the possibility of me doing something in public office, but anyway, so it's been real busy. All right. I think we've talked about Valentine's Day. Okay, I'm going to take this final break. I will be back in 60 seconds. And in 60 seconds, my friends and neighbors, I'm going to come back here and, put you on the radio, or I guess we'll go ahead and wrap things up, whatever you would like to do. What do you guys think? 865-457-1380, 877-711-4005. If indeed you'd like to jump on, we'll put you on the radio. What do you think? Call me quick.
Keep your car or truck looking good in 3 minutes flat at Blue Hippo Car Wash. Now how easy is that? Your license plate, your pass, gate opens, roll on through. One limited plan, wash all month made for you. Blue Hippo Car Wash in a left follet drive with your shine on so bright you'll have to put your shades on even at night. Blue Hippo Car Wash.
Blue Hippo Car Wash, 2140 Jacksboro Pike, La Follette.
Wake up with makeup.
by Carrie at Bliss Ball La Follette. Waking up beautiful and put together is every woman's dream. This dream can become a reality with Carrie at Bliss Ball La Follette. Call 423-494-7449 for all your custom and permanent cosmetic needs. Wake up with makeup by Carrie at Bliss Ball La Follette.
Have a great day and have a great Thursday. Hang on, Mike. Good morning, everybody. Have a great day, and I'll get to Mike's forecast here in just a moment. See ya.
Thank you for listening to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Make sure you tune in at 10 a.m. each day, Monday through Friday, right here on AM 1380 WYSH and BBB TV 12, or listen live online at WYSH